So, welcome to Droke Brew Reviews. I'm Steve.
I'm Mike.
And tonight we are going to do a review of Johnnie Walker Black. It is a blended 12-year Scotch, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Nice little big bottle here. So, actually, we're going to do this three ways for all the people at home. We're going to do it three-way. We're going to do it neat. We're going to do it on the rocks. And then we're going to dose some ginger ale in it to kind of give a review of it all three ways. Then we're going to tell what we think of the three ways. We're going to give it a grade. And then whether or not we recommend it or not. So,
cool.
I've actually tried this before. Mike hasn't.
I have not. I have been skeptical of trying any Johnnie Walkers after I drank the Johnnie Walkers Red, which, you know, it's common on the shelf, mid-level price. Pretty much anybody who drinks whiskey or Scotch has probably had it. Not a huge fan of it. My problem is I spoiled myself by drinking a very expensive Scotch for one of my first ones, and so when I drank the Johnnie Walker, I was very disappointed. So I have not tried any of the others, the black, the double black, the green, or the blue, which I heard the blue is absolutely phenomenal.
And we'll try to give us quite a little bit of a pour so we can make sure we can make it through all three of the different types. So we're going to do this.
Excuse me, sorry. Okay.
And got these little fancy Glencairn whiskey. So again,
see, this is what happens when you get 40 subscribers. We invest in nice cold glasses. Woo!
We go
the
beyond. The
channel is growing.
So,
all right.
Right off the bat, I get a little bit of a smoke.
Some cinnamon.
Yeah, a little bit of.
I'm picking up a little bit of cherry, which usually if you're drinking a whiskey or Scotch and you pick up cherry, that usually means there's some kind of a sherry mix or aging in the process.
Yeah. And this one is a blended 12-year, so I think that means that maybe the oldest one, the oldest of the blend, is a 12-year, or maybe it's the youngest one.
A little bit of vanilla. Pick up a little bit of the spice, pepper.
Yeah, I get a little bit of a vanilla. Very pleasant.
If this was a wine, I'd say, "Whoo, look at them legs."
No. Yeah, very pleasant smell. It's very pleasant on the nose.
Yeah, it's.
I get a little bit of a hint of some floral notes to it, which is kind of surprising. I do get a little bit of. And I might be the only person in the world that's ever said that.
I was gonna say.
But I do get that. I do get a little bit of. I do get a little
floral.
Hint of that.
What kind of floral?
Floral.
Oh, okay.
So here we go. We're gonna do this neat right off the bat. So I do get a little hint of the vanilla. I get a little hint of the smoke, and a little hint of the spice. Right off that.
I'm pulling up the oak. You can definitely taste it's been aged quite nicely.
Very smooth.
I'm actually not picking up a lot. I mean, there's a hint of smoke in it.
I get
but I'm
hint on the front end.
Yeah, but my palate is picking up more of the candy flavors like the cinnamon, the vanilla, the sherry.
Yeah, I do get a little bit of the.
If you guys want to know what sherry is, if you drink anything and it tastes anything like cherries, that's the sherry. Sherry's equal cherry.
Which is surprised because I love that. I love that finish, especially in the Scotch. But I'm not getting it. But I do get the vanilla, and I do get a little bit of the.
It's funny because I'm getting the spice on the smell, but I'm not getting the same. I'm smelling, I'm not getting it the same on the taste buds.
I'm getting the spice on the back end. I get a little bit of the smoke on the front.
Sorry, wrong pipe. Not that it's bad.
So we've done it neat. You ready for the ice?
Yeah, I probably need a little bit more. I think I indulged a little bit on the neat.
I'm only going to throw a piece of
this was, by the way, Stephen Empire, thank you. This was my birthday gift. Pretty good friend there.
And I'm gonna go light on the ice. Just one little cube.
No, anything I do with ice is always going to be, just an ice cube.
Just one little cube. And really, we look at it. There's 4 different ways to do it. You can do neat. You can do it on the rocks. You can just put a little bit of water in it, which is typical. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do a little bit of the rocks because I think that's more the popular way to do it. And then with something that's in it.
Yeah, I like to just put an ice cube in there for about a minute. Typically what it does is, especially for scotches, if you eat anything that's spicy, anything that tends to kind of come out and grab you a little bit, what I would always recommend before you take the scotch and not drink it again, just drop an ice cube in it. What it does is it will mellow out that spice. A lot of that taste that usually will bite you will kind of the only word is butter out. It'll give it a butter edge.
It mellows it out.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
and so just try it.
And if you don't want to do ice, you can just take like a couple of drops of water and put it in there. It's amazing.
But I like to chill mine out. That's why I do the ice because I like the coolness.
Yeah,
of
if you
it.
like it cool, then yeah. But if you're like, okay, you can just drop some ice. Now the one thing I picked up after this is actually a little bit more the vanilla and more the smoke.
See, I'm still not picking up a whole lot of smoke.
And that's kind of the good thing about any kind of whiskey, bourbon, anything that you're drinking. What you're picking up and what you're smelling is really you. I mean, people.
Oh yeah, and you remember, not everything that you review is going to be everybody's palate. You give one bottle of wine to one person, they love it. You give one to another, and they can't stand it.
It's your nose, your palate, and I'm getting the vanilla and that smoke.
Wow.
And I'm getting a little. Okay, so really smooth.
Extremely smooth. There's
smooth out.
No heat here. There's no heat going down.
No,
that was like just.
But I did get the spice on the back of the tongue. I felt the little tingle. I felt that little spice back there. The only problem is it kind of went away pretty quick.
See, I'm picking up everything on the front end.
I picked the vanilla up on the front end. And the spice
again, I'm getting a lot of more of the kind of like the sweeter candy type flavors. The vanilla.
No, I can see that. I got the vanilla. I'm not getting the.
Like I said, when you smell it, you can tell that there's a little bit of a smoky. This is. I have, honest to God, I've never tried this before, and man, this is something I could actually.
No, this is.
This is what I could actually see me keeping as a regular item in my liquor cabinet. That's actually quite nice. I'm impressed.
No, this is really good. So it's pretty interesting because the first ring I got the vanilla, then the spice. That one, I got the smoke, a little hinge of the smoke, and then the spice, which is very good. Very good.
Now, mind you, a couple months ago, or about 6 months ago, he was not into scotches at all. I kind of broke him into it.
No. So I'm now, and I'm into the Irish. So now we're going to maybe.
We can get the ice to bust up here. There we go.
We're going to put a little bit more ice in it, and then we're going to put some. I'll let you break that up. Then we're going to put some ginger ale in it.
I'm just going to take that cube there, and there we go. It's in. All right, and then now we're adding the ginger ale.
Yeah, we're going to do some sacrilegious stuff here.
Now, just to let you know, we do look up information on what we're going to review. We want to make sure we understand the alcohol content, where it was either distilled or brewed, where it was distilled, and it expressly says this is not a mixing scotch. So this is sacrilegious what we're doing, but we got to find out because some people like to mix their scotches.
Yeah, we do believe on this channel the same that some of the other channels believe. The only way to drink something is the way you like it.
Yes, if you like it, keep drinking it. If you don't, then don't. That's the great thing about why there's so many different varieties in the world is you get to choose what you like.
I'm gonna say right off the bat.
Well, I'm gonna give it a good shake here so I can get some mix.
I don't think this is gonna surprise you, but even through the ginger ale, I get the smoke. And I'm like, man, maybe I'm thinking I want some smoky scotch, which is kind of weird because I haven't worked my way into smoky scotches, but I do.
See, to me, I'm just picking up sweet.
Yeah.
I pick up the ginger from the ginger ale, the cinnamon. Yeah, vanilla, sherry. butter, oak. Not. I'm having a hard time finding any type of smoke in it at this particular point.
So right now I'm gonna tell you, it's pretty damn good.
Okay, that's a little surprising.
It's pretty damn good.
For a quote unquote do not mix Scotch, if somebody had poured this for me and said, "Hey, I got a surprise for you," this is not bad.
So I'll be upfront. If this was a blue, I'm not pouring anything in it. We're just doing it a couple of different ways. But for the red, the black, the green, even the double black, we're going to do it multiple ways. This is good. This is good. But I think it's just because it's a good Scotch. The ginger ale brings out the flavor of it.
Yeah, it just all it does is just soften up the notes and just highlight. You got some ginger ale in there, but it gives it a real good butter on the back end.
Yeah. It brings out the vanilla, the sweetness of it.
I think the thing that I'm enjoying about this, which is different, even the Macallan, which is my favorite, when you drink it, you're always going to get, or any type of what is that, Glenmorangie that you like, the Glenlivets, other type of scotches. When you drink it, it's the heat that you feel here.
This is just smooth.
I'm actually neat, really ice, smooth. And with ginger ale, I'm not getting any heat. I don't feel like I've been drinking Scotch.
No, this is really good.
So, and maybe that's just because of the way it's blended and things of that nature.
So we'll go back. So we've done 3 ways. We would do it this way. So how do you rate it as a neat?
7. Solid. Now, you got to understand, there's a lot of scotches out there. And to start rating stuff 8, 9, 10s, you got to be elite. Now, I mean, but you got to understand, for me to rate a bad scotch, I'm going to be honest and say a 3 or a 4. So 7 is above average, solid.
Yeah.
Clean taste, a little bit of smoke, good spices, cinnamon. I pick up a little bit of the sherry, which I like a little bit of the sherry flavor in my scotches. It softens it up a little bit. So neat, 7.
I'm going to give it a 7. On the sherry thing, I kind of like... I'm kind of more of a fan of the sherry finished scotches. I like that sherry taste that's in there. I didn't get as much as that, but I did get some of the smoke, and I will give it a 7. I like it. Very smooth.
Put it this way, if it's a 7 or above, it's in my liquor cabinet. Yeah. So this is going to be in my liquor cabinet. Coming home, put my feet up, crack a scotch. And guys, remember, I told you, Johnnie Walker Red, horrible. I wanted nothing to do with it. I literally have a bottle in my liquor cabinet that I gave away because it was bad. So this would be in my liquor cabinet.
I'm going to tell you, to me, I'm a huge fan of Monkey Shoulder as an entry, but this is right there with it. It's a little more pricey. Now, as when you put the ice in it, I'm going to still go to 7. I think it kind of changed up the flavor profile enough to make a difference. So I'm going to go to 7 with the ice.
Actually, with the ice is my favorite way to drink it. If you were to give me this and say, hey, let me drop an ice cube in it, what do you think? Blind taste testing, not knowing that it was Johnnie Walker Black, because you got to remember everything's always going to be a biased opinion by knowing what the name is and the maker. Yeah. I would bump it up, not to a full 8, but I would say 7.5. It does soften it up. Again, when I took a drink, it was just like butter. I mean, it was just really super smooth, really light, but didn't let me forget that. And that's the most important thing about a drink. It did not. It satisfied the appetite, but did not let me forget that I was drinking a scotch.
Now, once I put ginger ale in it, I'm going to bump it down to a 6.
I'm going to be right there at a 6 too.
Yeah.
It's still solid, but come on, you're diluting down a pretty good scotch.
Just do this one neat or with some ice in it, or put some drops of water in it. Doing those, don't mix. Even though it wasn't bad.
Hey, give me a Johnnie Walker with a splash of water.
Yeah,
and there you go, man. You got it.
Highly recommend this one.
Yeah. Again, if you're looking for a solid scotch,
a good blended scotch.
I think this is actually the bigger bottle. This is the 1.75. I think my buddy paid, right at $60. I think it's $40 for the 750.
Yeah,
so
about 45, 50.
Yeah. So again, I mean, for this big bottle, you're paying less than $80 for a scotch to have. in your cabinet. You come home from work. It's not going to break the bank. It's not going to break your budget, and you're going to be able to enjoy the world of Scotch and have fun with it, and be able to be proud to break it out in front of your buddies and say, "Hey, look what I got."
Yep. And if you never drank Scotch before or blended Scotch, Monkey Shoulder is a little bit less pricey. You can go with that one. That's a really good one too, or you can go with a smaller bottle of this, and this kind of will let you into the world of Scotch. This is very good. It is very good.
Very satisfying.
So,
I would definitely keep that bottle.
Give them some try.
Thank you, Steve, for my birthday gift. I appreciate you. All right.
So put down in the comments if what you think of this one. If you've tried any of the Johnnie Walkers, give us some recommendations. Give us a like, subscribe, hit the bell for updates. We're trying to do like 4 or 5 a week. And for Droke's Notes Review, this is Steve.
Hey, this is Mike, and by the way, please share this with all your friends.
Yeah.
There's a couple of challenges out right now. If we get it up to, 100?
I think we're going to cut down to 50. If we can get to 50, we'll do the Hour of Power.
Woo!
No. We'll do the Mountain.
We'll do the Mountaintop Challenge, and if we can get to 1,000 likes, we're going to do the Power Hour, and we'll explain that in a later episode. But
So let's
Steve
get to
Droke.
50.
Yep. I'm Mike Scott.
Steve, peace out.